In our last class, we had finished the heading, the levels of the government, where we talked of the local level, state level, and the central level. We also finished the universal adult franchise in India. Now, all this was covered in the previous video, and I expect that you should go for a revision randomly. Now, we come on to the next heading, need for universal adult franchise. Okay. Now,
Yes, ma'am.
why do we need a universal adult franchise? That means why everyone who is 18 plus of age should be given the right to vote. Number one, universal adult franchise ensures political equality. Now, when we talk of political equality, it tells us that before the governing body, all are equal. That means I can appoint the person of my choice as a representative, and so can you, and so can anyone who is 18 plus of age. Okay, so that gives us, that ensures us with political equality. Number two, it is harmony with the principle of sovereignty. It is in harmony with the principle of sovereignty of the people. That means it works. Universal adult franchise gives the total independence to the people. The principle of sovereignty is followed. That means all are independent to cast a vote and choose the person of their choice. Number three, please switch off your mic. The right to vote stimulates interest in public affairs. Now, once you are having the right, that means you are interested in knowing how the government is working. If the right is not given to you, then whoever comes to power, will you be bothered? No, you will not be. So, this ensures that each one of us has a right in the working of the government. It gives us more and more interest. We participate in the process. We keep a check on the government. Then, number four, the right to vote increases the self respect of the voters. Obviously, if you're going to cast a vote, it gives you immense responsibility and self pride. Why? Because you are special. The one who's going to cast a vote is actually making a choice and helping in the formation of the government. So it's a proud moment. Number five, the right to vote provides an opportunity to the minorities to safeguard their rights. Now, those who are in lesser number, who are not in majority, those are called minority. So, these minority, if there is no election, that means they will not get a chance to select the person of their choice. So, it gives a right to the minority people, those who are in lesser quantity, lesser number, so that their rights are safeguarded, are protected. Okay. Then next we come on to key elements that influence the working of a democracy. Now, what are the principles which help the working of a democracy? Number one, participation. Now, as the word tells you, participation is an important element of the working of a democratic government, because in a democracy every citizen should be free to participate in election as a candidate for any post. If he gets a majority, then there should be no hitch in his way to occupy any post, maybe of a minister or even prime minister. You must be knowing that our prime minister was a tea seller. He worked on a tea stall, and look at him today, he's governing the nation. So that means any and everyone has a right to participate in the process of election. Okay. Next point is sovereignty. And as I told you, the word means everyone is independent, free to do anything. Sovereignty rests with the people who are also the source of all power in a democracy. The government gets its powers from the people and is answerable to them for use of these powers. That means, in short, we can say the ultimate source of power is in the hands of the people. It is the people who decide the fate. So they are the most important and key elements which can influence the working of a democracy. Then the third point is fraternity. Now, a democratic government is based on mutual goodwill and fraternity. A feeling of brotherhood, commonhood is what prevails there. The purpose of the purpose of giving equal rights to every individual is to promote fraternity. That means all are treated equally. It promotes mutual love, which ultimately strengthens the nation. Obviously, when we love each other, when we work for a common goal, it will definitely affect the working of a nation, and the nation would be more healthier, more stronger. Next, we talk of liberty. That means freedom. It is also an essential characteristic of democracy. This is one, again, a very important aspect. In a democratic setup, everybody is free to express his or her opinion. All are free. Whatever you feel like, you can express. Form associations, you can form groups also, have faith in any religion and profess the same, criticize the government, etc. Liberty leads to overall development of all the citizens. So basically, whatever religion you belong to, you are free to practice that faith. Whatever association or group you want, this helps in criticism. That means healthily talking the negative aspects which the government is doing, so that it helps in keeping a check on the working of the government. Okay. Next, we come on to the fifth point called majority. Now, majority, the present day democracy is also known as the rule of majority. In general elections, whichever party gets majority forms the government. But while running administration, the majority cannot ignore the interest of the minority. So, anyhow, the word majority comes because most of the people in the population of that country have voted for that particular person. That is why that person came to power with the majority, and he formed the government, and he himself became the prime minister or the other important posts which were held by the other ministers. So it is basically we people who have casted our vote and made the person reach the majority, maximum number of votes, and get the seat and form the government. So this tells us that while the majority party is in the working of a government, the interest of the common people, the interest of the minority should not be ignored. They should be also kept in mind. It is not that okay, you are in a majority and you belong to a one particular religion, so that means you only work for that religion. No, you should be keeping in check and working accordingly for the other religion or for the minorities of the country. The next heading is equality. Now, as the word tells you, equality is also one of the pillars of democracy. Okay, very important pillar it is. In a democracy, everybody has equal status, and no discrimination is made on the basis of anything like caste, religion, color, race, sex, etc. Everyone gets equal economic, political, and civil rights. Whatever right I have regarding my economic collaboration, for political effort, and for civil, all will have the same. Okay. Then we come on to the rule of law. That means the supreme rule prevails. The judiciary is at the supreme head. Why? Because it can check anybody and everybody. It is not that if you are rich only then you will be uh, you will be saved. No, even if you are rich or you are poor, you can go in front of the court of law and ask for justice. So, in a democracy, the administration is not run according to the wishes of any particular individual or a group of individuals. Rather, it is run according to the fixed laws which are supreme, and the individual is punished for the violation of those laws. If you do not follow those laws, you will be punished, irrespective whether you're rich or poor, whether you belong to any higher caste or upper lower caste. Okay. Now let's come on to the constitution. What exactly the constitution is? The government derive their powers and functions from a common source, and that is the constitution. That is the set of the written laws which are made by the Constituent Assembly. Now, the Constitution is a written document and is the form of contract where the units that decide to come together put forth the terms on which such a union is acceptable to them. The Constitution contains the details of governmental forms, their respective powers, as well as limits on those powers. All the institutions of the government work within the provision of the Constitution. Nobody can move away from what is written in the Constitution. All have to abide by the rules and regulations formulated in the written document, which is in a form of a contract, as they have told you. So it's a written contract which people have to follow. And it is through everyone's effort that the country moves ahead with a fixed aim of doing well and keeping the welfare of the people in mind. I hope I'm clear till here. With this, we come to an end of the chapter. Please stop. I am stop. Now, next time when we meet, we'll be doing the question answers. Is everything clear till here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes,
Class.
ma'am.
Thank you. We'll discuss the question answers and the syllabus